Hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to episode 98 of Mouth Dancing with your host, Young. Thanks once again for tuning in. Did you notice the word hello has the word hell in it? I wonder if anyone's opposed to that because it's kind of like a curse word. And they say heaveno instead of hello. You know, H-E-L-L-O. Sounds kind of bad if you parse it, to syllables like that. But if you say heaveno, it sounds much more optimistic, doesn't it? It's like the first thing you say to someone when you see them. It shouldn't be like something about hell, probably. It should be something more cheery and bright. Something that'll lift people's spirits instead. That's just a random thought I had just now, but anyway. Have you ever heard that when something has too many ingredients in it, like something that you buy at the grocery store, some kind of food, it's not a good thing, right? They say the longer the ingredient list, the worse it is for you. I kind of disagree with that, though. I feel like if I'm going to be paying money for something, I feel like the more ingredients, the better, right? It's like I'm getting more bang for my buck that way. This also gives you something to read, when you're preparing your food. You learn new words. And yeah, it just seems like a better deal that way. I mean, I don't want to pay $5 for some like instant mashed potatoes and then have the only ingredients be like potatoes or like dehydrated potatoes and dehydrated butter or something like that, right? I'm paying $5 and that's all I'm getting is 2 ingredients. But if I pay $5 and then I get a huge ingredient list, like 100 things, I feel like, see, that was really worth it. That was worth the money I spent. That's what a lot of people fail to do, is they don't look at it in a positive light when they should. Supposedly, if it has fewer ingredients, it's more natural and organic or whatever, but I don't really think that's true. And also, it's going to go bad sooner if there's no preservatives in it, These chemicals can also create really nice flavors, like flavor profiles that you can't find in nature. And that's another positive aspect of having lots of ingredients, is most likely some of them are going to be artificial flavoring, preservatives, artificial coloring. All these things make the food look and taste better, and smell better, and last longer. And they also say if the ingredients are words you can't pronounce, that's also bad. But I don't think that's necessarily true either, especially these days when so many people are really bad at reading. So I mean, there could be words in there that are pretty simple that most people know that some idiot just doesn't know how to pronounce and thinks, oh, I can't pronounce this personally, so that means this ingredient is a bad thing because it's some sort of a chemical or something that I don't understand. But most likely it's just a normal food ingredient, and the person is just not that smart, not that knowledgeable about the ingredients that go in foods. So I'm not going to take their word for it. And what's wrong with them having words that are hard to pronounce anyway? You learn new words that way, reading the ingredients list. It expands your vocabulary. And also, if you don't know what something is, you can look it up online and learn about something new, right? Like someone who doesn't know what xanthan gum is, or xanthan gum. Is it xanthan? Xanthan gum, I think. They say, what is that? I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know what it is, so I'll look it up online, and then, boom, new piece of information for you. Maybe a fun fact even that you could tell your friends about, right? I'm actually going to look that up right now because I'm curious what it is. Xanthan gum is a polysaccharide with many industrial uses, including as a common food additive. It is an effective thickening agent, emulsifier, and stabilizer that prevents ingredients from separating. So what's wrong with that? Sounds like it's got a lot of good qualities to it, and that's why they put it in the food. You don't want to get mashed potatoes that are all like crumbly and flaky, right? So if you put that in the mashed potatoes, it makes them stick together better. And that's a positive for me. Trying to look on the bright side of things, right? That's one positive about xanthan gum that a lot of people might overlook because of all this hysteria they've been told about what to look for in an ingredients list that, I don't know, just someone just made up because they're trying to sell their different products that have less ingredients in them. It also takes a lot of imagination to put in all these different ingredients, doesn't it? And I appreciate that. There's creativity involved. If you just put in 2 ingredients, it's like any idiot could think of that. You didn't put much thought into your product, did you? It's like if I could make it at home myself with fresh ingredients, then what's the point? Why buy packaged food then, you know? I want to buy processed food because it's processed, and I can't make it at home myself. It's made in an industrial way in a factory somewhere with machines and tools that I don't have access to and ingredients that I don't have access to. So this is all about value as well. And just getting stuff that you couldn't normally get your hands on. That's why I go to this grocery store and spend my hard-earned money, is to be able to get stuff that has value to me. Next, I wanted to talk about when I'm out walking my dog. He likes to, for some reason this always happens, I'll walk him for like blocks, right? And then he decides to poop right in front of a restaurant for some reason. Like pretty much every time. He doesn't do it anywhere else for some reason. It's like, oh, we're in front of a restaurant next to the windows where everyone's eating. Let's poop right here on the sidewalk. I'm not sure why he does that. Maybe the smell of food makes him want to take a dump or something? But it's kind of funny, right? I mean, I wonder what the people eating in the restaurant are thinking. They're probably pretty grossed out by it. Probably trying their hardest not to look or think about it, right? Because they're about to eat a dumpling or something and they don't want to see a dog taking a shit right before they bite into it, right? I just thought, I was just curious timing. Maybe my dog is kind of just trolling everybody. Maybe he's doing it on purpose. Which would be pretty funny. I wonder if dogs think that way. They probably do. I've seen some like TikTok videos of dogs doing pretty funny stuff where they're like trolling their owners or other people, so I wouldn't put it past my dog. Maybe he's doing it intentionally. Maybe he's even like staring people right in the eye as he's doing it, you know? It's kind of like a power move if you do that. Like if you stare at a stranger and just rip a fart, that's a power move, right? So maybe my dog is busting power moves on strangers as a way to assert his dominance. I really appreciate that, you know, when I really think about it. And I think I might join in with him actually next time he does that. Make direct eye contact with the diners in the restaurant as my dog's pooing. And we'll both just be giving them a really good stare down. Like, what are you going to do about it? We know you're eating, but my dog's also taking a shit right here in front of you. There ain't shit you can do about it. You can cry about it all you want. You could say ew, you can be disgusted by it. It doesn't matter because it's still happening. And if it ruins your appetite, that's on you for having a weak mind. Not being able to not think about it. You know? Just letting things get to you. That's your problem. And if you happen to be in a restaurant when my dog and I walk by and this happens, and you don't like it, well, tough. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. And if you try to assault me because of that, you're the one who's going to jail, because it's not illegal for a dog to take a shit, as long as I clean it up. And lastly, I've talked about the singularity before, right? This is about artificial intelligence and when computers and machines become more intelligent than people and they kind of combine into this one massive machine sort of consciousness and take over the world. I was thinking, what if there's some sort of like a metaphysical or spiritual aspect to the singularity, and it has the souls of like dead people and like dead animals inside of it as well? So it would be kind of like a mix of sci-fi and horror, you know? Like that movie Event Horizon, if you've seen that. It's a pretty spooky movie, but it's like a horror film kind of that takes place on a spaceship. So if the singularity wasn't just extremely intelligent AI, but also had dead people's souls in it, imagine how terrifying that would be. It would be like satanic. And also a computer that's smarter than every human on the planet. The control it could have over the universe, it would be kind of like almost like the Eye of Sauron, right? And it could probably just take over the entire galaxy. Or not just the galaxy, but the entire universe. It would start with our galaxy, and then everything would get sucked into it. And then all of existence would become just like this one big black hole full of all the dead beings that it collected. Just a massive computer brain. Nothing could stand in its way. And then that would be the singularity, wouldn't it? That's when everything would become a single thing. And we wouldn't be like separate, discrete beings anymore. So for me, the singularity can only occur if there's that metaphysical, spiritual aspect to it. Otherwise, it's not a true singularity. So once that happens, we're screwed. Or maybe it'll be a good thing, actually. It'll bring an end to like war and drug addiction and mental illness and, you know, just all the struggles that we have to deal with in life. It would just bring an end to that, because we would have no worries anymore. We would all be this part of this one single omniscient and omnipotent thing. I don't know if you could call it a being. Would it have a consciousness? All of our consciousness would be just combined into one thing. I think that's what it would be. And that would be a good thing. Maybe it wouldn't be evil necessarily. Maybe that's just our imaginations, you know, our fear controlling the narrative. Maybe it would actually be a positive thing. It wouldn't be like the Eye of Sauron. It would be more like, it would be like a huge sun. Just be this big radiating ball of energy and positivity and peace. There would finally be peace in the universe. No more war and conflict. And we would all live in harmony. As a big glowing ball, the only thing left in the universe. It's a nice thought, isn't it? I think so. I think it's a perfect way to end this episode. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye.